Hi people, it's me again obviously, as always, Moina Ravenbird. Yeah, this is simply a quick video that I'm going to record for you guys, that I am recording for you guys, in relation to the sixth pentacle of the moon. Long story short, as you can tell based on the header of this video or the title, I committed to a long-term working regarding the sixth and last pentacle of the moon for altering the weather. Now, those of you that are familiar with it, and most of you that are watching this, still remember my initial article, okay? This video will be embedded in said article, essentially denoting all of my experiences with this pentacle and working with this pentacle. So check the link in the description below as always for the article relating to the subject. And in the article, be sure to download, where you see download content as mentioned in the video here, be sure to download the content on the link, the hyperlink on the word here. So you can see all the nice pictures and whatnot I have regarding this subject. So yeah, most of you that are watching this, as I was saying, are familiar with when I initially undertook this project. Long story short, the sixth pentacle of the moon specializes in exciting heavy rains and causing rainfall, tremendous levels of rainfall. The pentacle from the Greater Key of Solomon, the order of the pentacles. And when I first undertook this project, it was with a makeshift pentacle, like I told you guys. So I simply printed out the image of the pentacle on paper and I went to work. Again, see the article, the first section of the article for that. You'll see the way you can distinguish between my one-time working and a long-term working is the one-time working has like the yellow logo of the sixth pentacle of the moon, and this one, as you can tell based on the thumbnail, has a blue logo. So where the blue logo begins, that denotes or emphasizes longevity, so long-term working. Now, when I first undertook this project, like I said, yada yada yada, etc., etc. With the first pentacle of the moon, makeshift pentacle, I wanted to make it rain only for one day because it's a makeshift pentacle. It's like a one-shot. It's not, don't expect tremendous results or long-lasting results. Now, I took it a step further and I wasn't sure initially, but I said to myself, you know what, I've already committed to this by ordering it. Let me follow through on this. I'm not going to pussyfoot around or dilly-dally around or I'm not going to do things half-assed. And I'm obviously glad I did so. Again, long story short, I simply ordered a permanent version of this pentacle, of the sixth pentacle of the moon. It is like my beloved Lord Sandalphon thingy, his pendant with a corresponding necklace. I went through the motions just like the instructions say. Again, see the pictures for yourself, you'll see how beautiful it is, etc. And it's currently in my temple. I submerged it in water, obviously just like the results say, just like the instructions say. It just goes on, okay? Okay, just as the description states, I went through the motions. I just followed the instructions. And you see how beautiful it is. It's made out of pure silver. Necklace as well. Both the pendant and the necklace are made out of pure silver. Again, I went through all of it, all the motions, followed all the instructions, etc., etc. And I essentially I did all of that and officially activated the pentacle under the conditions that I outlined in my oration. The outlines in short being that it's not supposed to come into contact with me spiritually, physically, or in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. And it is not supposed to cause any negative effects in my life whatsoever, both in my occult life as well as my personal life. No negative effects. Those are the commands shortly summarized that I gave to that pentacle, as in, hey, do your thing, okay, cause maximum amounts of rain, with keeping everything I said keeping everything I said in mind, okay, under those conditions and circumstances, under those stipulations. I started this working, let me see, I started this on September the 14th. September the 14th was 11 days ago, and it was essentially Thursday, 2 weeks ago Thursday. And no complaints. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, I'm gonna keep this video short. Long story short, ever since I activated that pentacle, and it's officially been active and in place and active and in place, Thursday, September the 14th, Beforehand, it was on a daily basis 41 degrees outside, brutal, absolutely brutal. Humidity was at 90% to 100%. That's how gruesome this thingy was, the weather was. And now you're seeing why I wanted to make it rain and adjust the weather at a major level, or at maximum levels in the long term, because I love the cold and I can't stand that kind of gruesome heat. There was no wind whatsoever, no wind, and you had like small wildfires here and there. And at night, when essentially the dew settled, it essentially mixed with the smog that wildfire or smoke that those wildfires released in the neighborhood, in my neighborhood respectively, and it caused like some weird carbon monoxide like effect that was in the atmosphere. And subsequently, it even penetrates your house or any of your living spaces. And it's just, you can imagine how toxic it is to inhale that kind of stuff. Nothing that will kill you, but it's quite inconvenient. I mean, I can be lying on my bed and all of a sudden I'm like, what is that thing? It's that smog again. 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning. Believe me, it's obviously not healthy. So those were issues that I had. It was so hot that if I just went outside for 5 minutes, I would already start sweating heavily. Like really heavy levels of perspiration. If I, for example, took a cab into town to run errands and the cab doesn't have AC by any chance, by the time I get home, I will literally have to take off my shirt. My shirt will be wet for like 40 to 50%. And I will literally have to camp in front of my air conditioner and having it on full blast. And it will take an hour approximately, or an hour and a half even, or at the very least half an hour before my body cools down. And also approximately the same time for my shirt to dry from all the sweating I did. Now that was before. I'm deliberately making a before and after comparison. I also made this for myself prior to recording this in the past week or so. And now, ever since I placed that Pentacle, the temperature went from 41 degrees on a daily basis to 33 degrees on a daily basis. The humidity dropped from 100% to like 30%. At most, 40% at absolute most. Since I placed that Pentacle, it had before no rain whatsoever. Things were so dry that you should see what my front yard looks like. It looked horrible, absolutely horrible. It was literally like a wildfire could take place on my front yard. All the beautiful green grass turned into brownish desert-looking crap. Simply put, I'll show you guys in a second. And no rain whatsoever. And now, ever since I placed that Pentacle, September 14, it has rained every single day except for the last 3 days. But that's a yes and no, because guess what? It has rained, but the rain narrowly misses my neighborhood. So it essentially rains nationwide. I've been checking out the weather radar, and in the past couple of days, instead of it raining literally as in my neighborhood and overall, it rains heavily in like other regions of my respective country of residence at the moment. And the rain only narrowly misses my neighborhood. For example, yesterday in the download section, in the zip file that I make available for you guys to download, you'll see a map, and the title of the map speaks for itself, okay? You'll see a small square that is essentially my house, where my neighborhood is located. And on that it's a screenshot of the weather radar. Green stands for moderate amounts of rain, yellow heavy, and red is like outright thunderstorm, brutal levels of rain. And you'll see for yourself, it rained literally like in the entire rest of the country, and it narrowly missed my neighborhood geographically. And I know that because you can like literally see dark clouds, and you can slightly superficially hear lightning and thunder and whatnot, so to speak. In the distance, by distance I mean, let's just say 50 meters away from my house, 100 meters away. I'm like, look at that crap. It missed me narrowly. But yeah, under the given conditions and circumstances, there's nothing to be done. What else can I say? There was no wind before, like I said. Now it's like at least minimum 20 kilometers an hour levels of wind for the majority of the day. At peak levels, it's like 40 kilometers an hour. Like yesterday or the day before yesterday, it peaked so heavily that I think it peaked at like 50 kilometers an hour. I was like, what the fuck is that? It was almost like there was a speeding car going near my house. And I was like, really? What is this? That was wind? Wow. Okay, almost like a mini hurricane. What else? And yeah, that's essentially it. So I'm more than satisfied. Also, I'm already more than satisfied. Not to mention the fact that I know that Pentacle, its effect will grow stronger over time because it gains more experience and it can adapt more to the conditions and circumstances as just plainly are. The conditions and circumstances as they are that it's working under. So it will grow stronger and that will only increase results. But again, I'm already more than satisfied. I don't have to. When I go outside, I don't come inside completely sweating again. I can literally take a cab into the city without an AC. And when I get home, yeah, I'm briefly a bit warm like this, but not to the point where I have to take off my shirt and I literally have to camp in front of my AC. And I just have to start panting like I'm some camel in the desert. And all of that goes and wait until all of that settles down in like an hour or so. No. It's completely, right now my AC is off. Okay, before my Pentacle, I literally could not even remotely turn off my air conditioner. And now my air conditioner is turned off. And the temperature outside, intuition tells me that it's like 29 degrees outside, 30 degrees. And as always, rain is looming. I'll show you guys in a second. But that's it. You heard it yourself, before and after comparison. Beautiful Pentacle, marvelous. It's operating currently at 77% capacity. When I initially started, based on the fact that I added stipulations, the likes of which I said earlier or I listed earlier, the Pentacle can't operate at full capacity because I'm essentially, just like I said, I was like, okay, you do your thing, maximum power, but you don't touch me in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, and you don't cause any negative side effects in my life whatsoever. Nothing, no disruption. Because my readings told me, if I just let that Pentacle do whatever it wants, it's going to disrupt my financial life, and I definitely am not having any of that, obviously. That's why it operated initially at 65% capacity. I burned some incense for it, jasmine, so lunar incense, obviously, and I put some lunar I put some lunar oil near it, and as well as in the water, the bucket of water I put it in, the plate of water I put it in. That's why you'll see that in the picture, certain sections are like slightly misty. You can't see the Pentacle properly when it's where it is submerged in water in that picture, in the plate, because those are small droplets of lunar oil. Yeah, lunar oil. Not an issue. Like a couple of days ago, yeah, I essentially added a bit more water because the Pentacle asked me to add a bit more water to it, and that increased it. That boosted it up from 65% to 77%. Essentially, the bowl that I put it in, like the metal bowl, the metal plate-shaped bowl, I filled it up. Initially, it was filled up to like not half, like 3/4. Now I filled it up to like 80-90%. So even if I have to remove that bowl, which is not going to happen at least for a really long time, I'm not moving anything. Obviously, it's a long-term working. But let's just say I had to empty that bowl for whatever reason. I'm not going to do so. But metaphorically speaking, purely for the sake of an example, I'm really going to have to hold it like this because it's like filling up a glass that is all the way to here, literally. Like within half a centimeter distance, essentially. With only half a centimeter of a gap remaining, I mean. Let me see. What else could I have to say? No, that's it. And currently it's operating at 77% capacity, and as time goes by, it will improve. But believe me, this thing was a long-term working. This is like wondrous for me. I'm more than satisfied. But of course I want more, obviously. Because I initially said to myself, okay, I'm going to wait a couple of months and then we'll see. But within the scope of a week, I already saw everything that I described to you guys. The grass on my front lawn has started growing again. Like the brownishness is disappearing and the grass is becoming fresh and green again. So new sprouts of grass, seeds and whatnot are appearing. And yeah, that's essentially it. Nothing else comes to mind. That's it. Hold on. So that's it. No complaints. You can see legendary results for yourself. This video was clocking in at 14 minutes currently. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, see for yourself. My front lawn. You can clearly see what I'm talking about, right? Beforehand, before the Pentacle, all of this crap, this whole shit section was brown as fuck, like really brown. Look at how bright it is outside. It was brown, and now look, see? You can see grass growing again, fresh grass growing again. And look at the air. You can see how stringent the air is, how it literally wants to rain so devastatingly bad. It's like the air is begging, the weather is begging to rain. And that's why humidity is at peak levels. It's currently at 30%, 35% absolute maximum, and it's currently, with the humidity, from 29 it goes to like 31, 33 degrees outside, 33 at most. Right now I can easily just go onto my front yard. I'm literally in the sun. It is so freaking hot. But see what I mean? It's hot, but it's warm, but it's not humid. I can stand outside wearing black clothes, and it's not warm. I mean, it's not so hot to the point where I can barely breathe. Look, you can see trees moving, like near constantly. Windiness. It's like 5 to 10 kilometers of wind. It's low because it wants to rain. See? I can stand outside for 5 minutes and I'm warm, but it's not hot to the point where I can barely breathe and I'm starting to sweat. Right now, I'm not sweating at all. I'm completely calm and cool. This is the way it's supposed to be. See? Look at the entire neighborhood. Look at that. Look at how it wants to rain so horrendously bad. As far as I'm concerned, it's already raining somewhere else, most likely. It is already raining in different neighborhoods and whatnot. By default, based on my intent, for people that were wondering, the Pentacles, they work on intent. Hold on, let me show you guys in the temple in real time so you can see for yourself. Hold on, let me just turn the light on. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Come on, stop thingying. Sorry, it needs to zoom in. Yeah, there you go. See? There you go. And the oration, etc., everything. Purple cloth. That is it. Hold on. Retreat back into bedroom. Okay, listen. There's no need to continue. That is all, guys. Let me see if I forgot anything. No, nothing else comes to mind. That's all, guys. Bye.